Hello friends, today we are going to learn about very interesting topic, that is fun with magnets. So many of you are playing magnets, isn't it? Yes, so we are using these magnets in our daily day-to-day life also. Various gadgets and appliances which are present at our home, they are made up of magnets, right? For an example, daily you are using refrigerator, right? It is present in the kitchen. So when you are pulling the gate of a refrigerator, after sometimes as you push the refrigerator gate, it get automatically shut off. Why? Have you observed what is the reason? Yes, the reason is the magnet is present inside the door, and just because of this magnet it get attracted to the iron, which is the iron material. Refrigerator is made up of iron material, right? So it get attracted and it shut down. That is what a magnet is. So here we are going to learn about what is a magnet. So magnet, a material or the objects which are made up of metal known as iron, nickel and cobalt, they are known as magnets. It get attracted to that material, they are known as magnets, right? Various magnets you observe in your daily day-to-day life also. Magnets are they are made up of a material, right? So some are the magnetic materials and some are non-magnetic materials. Magnetic materials, as the name suggests, you can also define that what is magnetic material. Magnetic material is the material which is made up of magnet, right? Or it get attract to the magnet or stick to the magnet. They are known as magnetic material. Whereas the materials which cannot attract or which cannot stick to the material, that are known as magnetic material. Cannot stick to the magnets actually. They are known as non-magnetic materials. So this is about what is a magnet and magnetic materials and non-magnetic materials. There is a story behind how magnet is discovered. Discovery of magnets is based on a story. When a shepherd boy, his name was Magnus, he was taking his ships for grazing. So there, as the ships were grazing, he was sitting on a rock. And after some time, he want to pull himself out from that rock, but he cannot. So his shoes, it gets stuck on that rock. Even the ferrule which he was using, that ferrule also gets stuck to the rock. So what does he observe? He cannot find out himself to move away from that rock. So afterwards, as he put some energy, he come out of that rock and he took some peoples there, and they found out that the iron which are present, the nails which are present in the shoes of that Magnus, it gets stuck. So that is the reason that that rock has name as magnetite, just because of the name of the shepherd boy Magnus, and it was discovered in the Greece. So there is a story that how magnet was discovered and why its name as a magnet. Okay, then here we come to learn about the various different types of a magnet. According to their shapes, the magnets are classified. Magnets are named as according to their shape. For an example, ring shaped magnet, compass are there. Compass is also consists of a magnet, and various cylindrical magnets, spherical magnets, even the horseshoe shaped magnets. These type of magnets we are using in daily day-to-day life. The gadgets which we are using, which are the gadget which are present at our home, they are made up of these various types of magnets. Magnets are having a certain property. This property is known as magnetism. Yes, so the magnets are acquiring the property of a magnetism, in which they can develop the magnetic property inside them. So this is known as magnetism. Magnetism can be temporary or permanent. So there are two types of magnets, which are temporary magnets and some are permanent magnets. The permanent and temporary magnets we will discuss further in our remaining topic. Then after this, we are going to learn very important thing about the magnet, that is the characteristics of magnet. Magnet is having certain specific characteristics. They only, just because of that specific characteristics, we can differentiate or we can identify that it is a magnet. So very first property, which the magnet is acquiring a first property or a characteristic, that is magnet always settles in the north and south direction. Why it settles in north and south direction? There is a reason behind it. But the first property, I am revising it again, the first property is the magnet always settles in the north and the south direction. Okay, so the north and the south direction, why? Because the magnets are having north and south pole, just because of our Earth's north and south pole, right? So where there is a north pole of our Earth, there only the magnet will, as we suspend the magnet freely in the air, as we are tying that magnet with the thread, what happens? As we want to suspend this magnet very freely, what happens? After some time it gets settled in the north and south direction only. Why? Because Earth's north and south direction, the magnet gets settled in that direction only. This is the first property or first characteristic of the magnet. Then the second characteristic of magnet that we are going to discuss is highest magnetic force is always concentrated at the poles of the magnet. As the magnets are having two poles, north pole and south pole, so they get concentrated on both the poles. Highest force is applied, or the magnetism is present in both the poles of the magnet, that is north pole and south pole. This is the second characteristic. Third characteristic which we are going to discuss is when a magnet is there, a independent magnet is, individual magnet is there, and we cut this magnet from between, if we cut this magnet, both the pieces of magnet will become independent a magnet, as both of them are having north pole, south pole, north pole, south pole. In this way, as we cut the magnet in various pieces, then too this magnet will be formed in a individual specific magnet. This is the third property. Then the fourth property of a magnet is that the magnet, it get induce the magnetic property, that is magnetism, that is known as induced magnetism, in which the magnet is induced to acquire a magnetism. How is it possible? When we are attaching two magnets together, what happens? As the magnets are present attached with each other and we put some iron foils, what happens? That iron foils, it gets stick to the poles. As slowly we will separate both the magnets out, that iron foils which stick to the end of the magnet, it get fall down. This shows that there is a induction, there is induced of magnetism. That is why it is known as induced magnetism. Right? This is our fourth characteristic. Then the last and the fifth characteristic of a magnet is there is a repulsion between the like poles and attraction between the opposite poles. So like poles, as all of you know, magnets are made up of north and south poles. So when the magnet, we are keeping both the magnets of the same poles together, what happens? It get repelled. It will not get attached with each other. But if we are keeping the north and south pole, that is the opposite poles together, they get attract. That is, they are showing attraction in the opposite poles and repulsion in the like poles or the same poles. This is the fifth property or the fifth characteristic of a magnet. So here once again we are going to revise the 5 characteristics of magnet. First one is the magnet always settles in the north-south direction. Second property is the magnetism is concentrated at the poles of the magnet. Then the third one, it is that the magnet is always be independent if we cut a single magnet into several pieces. Then the fourth one is about the induced magnetism, in which the magnetic material, it get induced to acquire the magnetic property or the magnetism. And the last one is that it shows the repulsion. The magnet shows repulsion when there is a like poles, and the magnet shows attraction when there is a opposite poles. So these are about the characteristics of magnet.